Hello everyone, welcome back to Super Lorcana World, and it is time for me to review the comments of this week's YouTube videos. We are going full-blown confrontational mode today. While there are some comments that are nice and peaceful, they're all nice and good, we have some people that are, they're fighting. Not, I don't know if fighting is the right word, but they're definitely asking questions. And some are just being, not nice people about it. Today we're going to go through the comments, we're going to answer some of them, and I'm just going to give it to you guys straight like I always do. And that's all. That's it. If you guys want to be in these YouTube comment videos, please leave a comment. You might get in. You just might. So let's start with a nice one here. This is from Brandon Hart. Please, please, please have a junior competitive event. Get the younger generation involved without having to face old dudes with facial hair. I'd love to travel with my 10 and 12-year-old. This is really cool. This is obviously in reference to the news that there's going to be competitive circuit for Lorcana and all that. This is a really good idea. Yu-Gi-Oh! Had Dragon Duels. Pokemon also separates into Junior, Senior, and Masters. I think this is a really good idea. Something I never even thought about when I was looking at the news. This is a really cool idea, and I'd actually love to see it implemented. I would. It'd be really cool. B_RJ3WJ says, it says local stores. I wonder if that means Target and Walmart too. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. I'm pretty sure that while local stores are getting more, Walmarts and Targets will also be getting more. They haven't explicitly said that, but I'd be super surprised if they didn't. And we have Alex Nass, 9634, saying, man, this game is too expensive to play, in my opinion. Prices in Canada are effing crazy. This game is more expensive than average. I'm really big into Digimon, and that game is really cheap. I'm starting to get big into Pokemon again for fun, and that game is really cheap. Not as expensive as Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, that's for sure, and not as expensive as some Magic formats and some decks. I think Lorcana is right in the middle right now, and as more product is released in the next year or so, as printing issues get fixed, I think this gets fixed. But I think you just gotta wait it out. There are outlets though where you can play this game with proxies, and you can do online things like Pixelborn, so it's not over per se, you know what I mean? But it is true. It is expensive in Canada. It seems like there's less of this to go around in Canada because, the United States has a lot more than Canada does. It's just the way it is. We're in Canada, eh? Speaking of Canada, though, let's move on to Lorcana_Inkwell, a.k.a. Jaunty, a.k.a. one of my Canadian fellows. I'm not sure where you heard the October restock has already happened. It's been confirmed today to be happening this week. This is a really interesting comment, and I find it super interesting in the fact that this guy, as my understanding, he manages a store, I think. A card store? So, I'm surprised that this is even a comment. And he wasn't the only one to leave this comment either, which is really interesting. I've had stores tell me, halfway through October roughly, that they were getting more product from distributors. Now, these were not Canadian stores. And I even got a little bit more Lorcana product. I didn't get, boxes, but I got a couple of things for Lorcana, and it was really cool. The stores that I know, store owners in the States that I know from my Digimon contacts and all that, and Yu-Gi-Oh contacts, they were telling me, yeah, we got a little more Lorcana from our distributors. So that's where I got my information from. That's why this comment surprises me, because it has been around. But yes, this is also correct in the sense that it is coming out this week. It's coming, and I know that for sure. So maybe that was just a fluke or a coincidence. I don't know. But all I know is I know what I know. And that's really all it is for that. We got Andrew Quiroz, 4335, saying, forgot to bring up how much foils have shot up on some of these legendaries, Hades and Stitch especially. I try to stay away from foils. Foils are in this weird little world that they will just always be more expensive, and there's less foils to go around than just copies of most cards anyway. So I sometimes cover foils. I won't make a point to cover foils on a regular basis though, just because they're a little more of a wild card. But yes, Andrew is correct. Hades and Stitch foils are up there in price, as well as some others. Some foils are really shooting up. It is what it is. We got here Native Retrospective 6931 saying, this Joker, that's me, was saying Lorcana reprints in October and telling everyone to wait. How's that working out? This guy has no idea what he's talking about. Be careful what he recommends to sell. He has been wrong a lot, especially box prices going down. This guy is, see, I enjoy these kind of comments. I really do. And I like addressing them too. I don't want to like give off the impression that I like hide from all the hate. I like attacking it head on because, again, if you're the kind of person to like leave a YouTube comment where you're just being a troll or annoying or you're just being vindictive just for the sake of being vindictive or what, you know what I mean? Negative Nancy's for no reason. There's definitely something going on in your right. Like, my life isn't the best life, but I don't feel a need to do this. I don't feel a need to try to bring other people down or anything like that. Now, to be fair, as you guys probably know, I have been dealing in Lorcana cards, buying, selling, and whatever, and I have made a good amount of money in vending Lorcana cards since the game came out. I have made some good decisions with some cards that I purchased. You know, things like Rapunzel's, John Silver's, Cusco's, Be Prepared's for a bit, and other just random stuff here and there. You know, uh, I haven't really had a negative transaction yet. I've had a couple of transactions that didn't go as high as I wanted them to go, but like I'm doing pretty good, in all honesty. So I think that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, to give him some credit to his point, the October reprint is literally on its way, technically, as far as sources confirm, and other people were getting product, as I just confirmed a couple comments ago. But booster box prices have not gone down yet. That is true. Gotta give it time. But I've been saying since the beginning that right now so much it doesn't matter what the box prices are. In years from now, they will be a lot more than they are right now. And that's correct. I can see the future when it comes to that. So if he's saying that's wrong, then this guy is the Joker who has no idea what he's talking about. So think about that as we move along here. And because I love my Canadian people so much, I gave this guy a round 2 because he did comment again. He said none of the cards you showed were examples of power creep. They were all incomparable. They are just good new cards. This is incredibly interesting. I don't know where this comment came from. So I have a little quote here from Diffin where it says objective versus subjective. Now, this is not going to address his point per se, but I want to like illustrate my point here. Subjective information or writing is based on personal opinions, interpretations, points of view, emotions, and judgment. It's often considered ill-suited for scenarios like news reporting or decision-making in business or politics. Objective information or analysis is fact-based, measurable, and observable. So I have to disagree with this comment, just based on that alone. Like, for example, the Mickey Mouse versus Madame Mim. Yes, they are two different inks, but that doesn't really matter. And that's not an opinion. It's just we're comparing numbers and text. That's what we're doing right now. And you can make an argument that you should be comparing ink as well. If you want to make that argument, I'll let you have it. But when you have an 8 cost evasive with a 5/5 stat total, and in set 2 we get a 7 cost evasive with a 5/7 stat total, that's just better. And then you add on the ability that lets you bounce 2 cards back to your hand, basically. As long as you're playing it correctly, it's an amazing card. Mickey Mouse doesn't offer that. So just in the fact that Mickey Mouse doesn't even have that text, Madame Mim is just straight better. It is straight just better. Maybe you don't want to use the term power creep. I can respect that. But it is just better. And like in set 1, we had discard cards, but you didn't have a payoff for discard cards. In this set, you do, in the form of Prince John. So we're actually just getting something that doesn't exist. Maybe you can't compare it because it doesn't exist prior, but the fact that this is a powerful effect that did not that did not exist in the first set, that is an example of the power level creeping up. That's just objective. It is what it is. We also, if you compare, the legendary beast from set 2, the one that can turn itself sideways over and over again, we don't really have a card like that in the first set. I think I don't exactly know where this guy is going because he didn't really give any examples of how they're incomparable. Again, there's just nothing here. It's gas. But examples of how they were incomparable would have been nice, so I can at least maybe try to address his points. But the fact that set 2 has powerful things that set 1 does not have is just proof, objective proof, that the second set has more powerful cards than the first. And that is affectionately known as power creep. But if you disagree, let me know in the comments and actually explain why. Please. I'm all for good conversation. I really like having good conversation. I don't mind debating. I really don't mind. I enjoy it sometimes. But, like, you gotta give me something to work with, man. Come on. I know you. You like to use your words in your English. And, yeah, you like to do that. Why didn't you do it for this comment? You know what I mean? Like, there's just no point. No point. Cuniculus Furtum. My LGS has been playing quite a bit 3 and 4 person Lorcana. The whole new world combo with Prince John gets even crazier if you are playing a 4-person game. Discard 7, draw 28 is nuts. LOL. I am looking forward to Floodborne for sure. That is pretty true. Right now, it looks like multiplayer games are kind of crazy. And I'm wondering if Ravensburger is going to introduce multiplayer into their competitive circuit for Lorcana. They never said whether they're going to do that or not. We'll get more details at the start of 2024. But if they do that, they need to keep in mind reservations for this, because it is kind of dumb. It just is. Key of George. All you displayed in your video were really good cards with minor drawbacks. There is no power creep in Lorcana yet, not even close. Again, another comment with no substance. I included this just because the opinions of the community are really split. I see a problem. I see a problem where the second set's cards are way more powerful than the first set's cards. I'm able to compare this with Digimon. Digimon, the first few sets, yes, there were cards that did cool things, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this card breaks the game. Except for one card called Hidden Potential Discovered, which Bandai limited to 1 because they knew that was insane. Just an example, right? Again, there's nothing here to work with. Like, they are really good cards with minor drawbacks, but how many really good cards are in set 1 with minor drawbacks and comparatively to the set 2 ones? See, this is why comments like this annoy me to a certain extent, because there's nothing here. There's people are just talking for the sake of talking, you know? There's no examples. At least I say what I want to say. If you have a disagreement, just please tell me why you disagree and give examples. You know, the English language is a beautiful thing. Use it. William LeBeau. There is power creep, that is for sure. You see? Like the community is split. It's actually super fascinating how split the community is on this. Anyway. However, returning 2 cards in hand is not nothing. Yes, there is combo. However, you need to have a very restrict deck to gain value. Finally, I think returning 2 cards in hand will make it very painful if it is banished next turn. The balance would have been there if they made this card uninkable. Also, I don't think that Mickey Mouse is used in the meta at the moment. I am more afraid of the Green Legendary and Prince John. This is a good comment. He's explaining how things work. Thank you. I really appreciate this comment. This is a good comment. It's nice. It's beautiful. There are words and there are phrases and examples. It's really cool. So to address it, there is combo potential. And he is right. If you're not doing things properly with Madam Mim, it might not be for you. It might be a misplay. You know what I mean? You have to be careful. You have to think about it. You just can't willy-nilly play Madam Mim. But if your deck focuses around it, or if you build your deck, right? And I've already started testing set 2. If you build your deck with cards like Madam Mim and other cards that take advantage of either re-entering the battlefield or just wanting to have them in your hand, it really works. It really, really, really works. It just does. It is what it is. I got nothing else to say to it. I've done things in Ruby Amethyst where I returned 2 bodies of Madam Mim, and then the opponent played an Elsa to freeze it or whatever. And the next turn I prepared the whole board away. But my 2 characters that I returned in my hand were safe because of Madam Mim. That's something that's not available with Mickey Mouse. And correct that Mickey Mouse is not really using the meta at the moment. Some decks have a niche, and that's it. And he should be afraid of Green Legendary and Prince John because, man, oh man, those cards are crazy. Good points. Chaosdramon X says, I'm so excited for the Merlin deck. Sword in the Stone is easily my favorite Disney movie. I'm excited for the playstyle, and I predict that the Merlin Squirrel will put in work. I love this whole comment. I think you're right about the squirrel. And, love to see it. Nice to see the nostalgia here. We got Nathan Emmerich Ainsworth 1278. The Grand Duke is going to be so powerful in Princess X and Moana. I think there's potential for that. Absolutely. It does give them +1. +1 is strong. And I included a bonus content today because I don't think this guy understands what sarcasm is. Stephen DeStefano says that's not how win more works. Now, if you were watching the video when I was talking about win more, you could tell by my voice I was being a little bit, flamboyant, making a bit of a parody, a bit of a giggle, haha, funny. You know what I mean? But to address the point, Mana Mim is really good. And I'll ride that home to him blue in the face. And people in set 2 will top with Mana Mim in their decks. I guarantee it, 100%. Or your money back. That's it for today's video, guys. A lot of good contents. A lot of good comments. A lot of good meaty conversation. And I love it. See, it's really cool making content when you have a community that is willing to both give you compliments and have a good time with it, but you have people that challenge you. I like the challenge. Challenge makes me feel alive. The challenge isn't usually right, and it's easy to overcome, and that's fine, but it's all good. It's all good in the hood, and I love it. I just straight up love it. Yeah, that's it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you later. This week's been pretty crazy, I will say. Holy moly. What a week.